You're a 7-time ATV GNCC champ, 2003 bike champ. So, do you see yourself making a return to the quads anytime soon?
Interesting question. Actually, I thought about it earlier this year. I thought about racing snowshoe, but Yamaha, pretty much, when I talked to them, we kind of discussed it, and they thought it was in my best interest to just focus on the bike. So that's my job, is basically trying to bike races. So once that was, we talked about it, and they said, hey, forget about forget about snowshoe, and maybe if I'm still interested in doing it, racing later this year, maybe one of the last 2 races.
Yeah.
But if you ask me right now, do I want to go race a quad tomorrow, I would say no.
Now, there's a lot of talk about this 450 YZ. Do you feel faster on the YZ or the WR?
Actually, I'm sitting here in my riding gear right now. I was just doing some suspension testing. I feel a lot faster on the YZ, but my lap times are really close on the 2. That being said, I'm still trying to refine the YZ to get everything, the suspension, the fuel injection mapping, get all that stuff figured out to where I feel comfortable. Once I feel 100% comfortable on the YZ, then I'll go back to doing lap times, YZ versus WR to see where I'm at.
Do you foresee maybe after this break coming out on a YZ, or are you going to wait on that?
No, actually, I do plan on racing the YZ. We get the go-ahead from Yamaha to basically race the YZ or the WR the second half of the year. So that's why I'm spending a lot of time right now on the YZ. Actually, the past 3 days I've been doing suspension testing. So, as of right now, my plans are to race the YZ.
Okay. Now you race for AmPro, so how big of an influence would you say Randy Hawkins has been in your career?
Oh, a huge influence. Basically back in the end of 97, the beginning of 98, Randy basically end of 97, beginning of 98, Randy was starting his team, and I ended up, Yamaha basically gave me a choice to be on his team or another team, and I chose Randy's team to be on in 98. And basically from 98 up until now, for 12 years, I've been on his team. And everything back when we first started, we were teammates plus competitors. We raced each other, but Randy's never been the type of guy to hold any secrets. He would call me and say, hey, we found this with the bike. Try and do this, do whatever. He's always helped me. He's never held back. He's been a huge help in my career to get me where I'm at. I may be here without him, maybe not, but he definitely made it easier for me to get where I'm at. That's for sure.
One of the older guys racing, yet you're still extremely competitive. How do you feel you keep that edge over younger riders?
Honestly, I think probably just hating to lose, just wanting to constantly trying to improve myself, to want to show to everyone that I can still do it. And I've struggled the last 2 years. I finished in the top 10 past couple of years, but I haven't been where I wanted to be. And yes, I am one of the oldest guys. Well, not one of. I am the oldest guy in the class. But on one hand, I say, yeah, I'm getting to where I do know the end of my career is about here. But then on the other hand, I look at it and say, Rodney Smith still won a championship when he was 40 or 41 years old. So right. I can still do it. It's just a matter of, getting out there and putting in the laps and the time. And I know what it takes to do this. I've been doing it a long time, and I still want to do it. I want to go out there and beat At one time, I was a young punk coming in, beating the older guys, and now I'm an older guy. I want to beat the young punks again.
Yeah, I definitely get that. Now you mentioned, that your career, is probably going to end in a few years. What do you see doing after that? Do you want to get a team of your own? Do you want to help Randy? What are your plans for the future?
Actually, I talked to Randy about this earlier today. I would like, right now, what I would like to do is I would like to basically do what Randy's doing. I want to have a team and have guys, and basically, what I would like to do is I would like to take the team over from Randy, is what I would like. Whether that'll happen or not, there's a lot that would ever go into that happening, but that's what I would like to do. I would just like to take the time. I mean, not that Randy doesn't spend the time or put the effort into the team. He does do a lot of that, but he also has a lot of other businesses or a lot of other things that he has to do other than the Emperor Yamaha. So I would like to, if I ever get the team, I would like to dedicate 100% into being the team manager and try and improve on what Randy's already got. It would be hard to improve the team that Randy's built, but I would like to do it.
What was something that took you a while to get the hang of, or the hardest thing you had to learn?
I think when... let me think about this a minute. Whenever I started on the bike, I think the biggest thing for me when I went from racing the quad to the bike, the thing I struggle with the most is line selection. If you come around the corner and there's 18 lines going through a mud hole, how do you know which one to pick?
Right, yeah.
I think that was the biggest thing for me, was to, whenever, I'm talking the first and second year I started racing the bike, that was the hardest thing for me. After, I guess, that's whenever I was racing the B class. If you ask me later on down the road, whenever I moved into the pro class, what's the hardest thing is probably the physical aspect of it, being able to go hard for 3 hours.
Yeah, well,
because at that point, moving from the B to the A class into the pro class, I pretty much had down and I knew what lines I need to pick and what to do, but just going hard for 3 hours was the hardest thing.
Would you say you're still having fun?
I am. Actually, this year, like the past 3 days, I've been doing this suspension, playing around with the 2010 YZ. I mean, I have fun doing it. I mean, it's a pain in the butt to come in and change forks, change shocks, and go back out, and come back in, and they put the forks back on that you just took off. I mean, to me, years ago, I didn't know, when I would see guys turning their clippers on their suspension, I would say, how in the world does that guy know what he's doing? I mean, I couldn't feel what a clicker did. Now, I can turn it one click and 2 clicks and I can practically tell you what it felt like or what it's going to do. And to me, it's kind of like a puzzle where I got to kind of try to put it together.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
I'm having fun right now, especially it's almost like a new bike and I got to try and figure it out. And I'm having fun right now. Last year at this point, I wasn't having any fun. I wasn't, like, if it wasn't the GNCC series, like the local series I do, or I wasn't wanting to do these races. But right now, I'm looking and trying to find guys to ride with during the week and races to do on the weekend. So, yeah.
We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Just a couple more. What's been the highlight of your career?
Oh, man. Do I have to pick one?
Hey, give it as many as you want. Take them all.
Actually, probably the most recent one highlight was in 2005 when my son was born. June 15th, 2005, he was born that week, and I didn't ride all week, and then that weekend was the WISP GNCC, and I went to it, and my son was there. I mean, he was only 4, 5, 6 days old, whatever, and I won that race. So, I mean, going, there was so much going on with the family and everything. The last thing on my mind was practicing the week before GNCC, and then to go there and win and have, I mean, of course he doesn't remember, but, just really a lot into that week, and to pull off a win after not even sure and end up pulling off a win was pretty special to me, and that's one that really, really sticks out in my mind.
We're gonna go ahead and let you go. One thing, anybody you want to thank for your success?
Yeah, I would like to thank, my wife. I mean, she's been there racing with me. Actually, she's been with me from the first championship I won on the ATV back in '93 until now. I mean, she wants me to win as bad as I want to win. My mechanic, who has been with me since my first days of the pro class on the bike, Doug Whitmer, and Randy Hawkins, Yamaha, MSR, FMS,